Bienvenue tout le monde, bienvenue dans le show Paola jeudi qui c'est une première sortie que nous avons fait qui c'est Ohio Traffic Show là dans NDL No Diaspora Live et c'est une émission en anglais jeudi côté que m'invite au tendez et restez branché puisque le lendemain de l'émission ça et la date que nous avons posté là nous avons pour suivre pendant l'autre jour même version en créole avec sous-titrage et une façon pour nous mettre plus de monde capable de comprendre. All right, so welcome everyone. This is Miguelito Jerome. We're live today on NDL No Diaspora Live, and today we are honored to have some really good and respective representative from the governor's office, from the public safety that have been working with us here in the Haitian Community Alliance and here at NDL to try to tackle some of the issues with the traffic and the public safety as a whole. So today we will have them. They are here right now, and we're also joined with the HCA. So let's start by a quick introduction today to tell the community again who you are and what you guys doing. I will start with the director over here. So how are you doing, sir?
Thank you, I'm doing great. Thank you for having us. It's an honor to be here. I'm Andy Wilson. I'm the director of the Ohio Department of Public Safety. At the Ohio Department of Public Safety, we have 9 divisions. We have 4,000 employees, and we're in charge of really all things related to keeping people safe here in Ohio. Now, some of the divisions that we have used here in Springfield, some of the divisions that people see most prevalent in Springfield are the Ohio State Highway Patrol. So they fall under the Department of Public Safety. We have the Ohio Traffic Safety Office. We have the Ohio Department of Homeland Security. We have the Ohio Emergency Management Agency. We have the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles that falls under us. And we have the Ohio School Safety Center. Again, we have several other divisions as well, but with respect to the public safety issues that we're addressing here in Springfield, those are the divisions that I have or that we have most engaged. I work directly for Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. I'm a cabinet level director for him. He appointed me, and I'm actually from Springfield, Ohio. So
nice.
The governor, when these issues started to arise here in Springfield, came to the forefront, this became a national story. When we have situations like that, the governor likes to send a cabinet level director to be on the ground in the community, working with the folks involved. So Governor DeWine sent me over here to Springfield, not just because it was a good fit, because I have public safety and there's a lot of public safety divisions that are on the ground working over here, but also because I'm from Springfield. I know a lot of the local public officials. I was, before I went and worked for the governor, I was a local elected official here as well. So it's been just kind of a nice fit. It's been a good opportunity for me to come over here and work with officials that I used to work with. And it's really been an honor to get to know you, to get to know some of the Haitian leaders on the ground, to work together to solve what the real issues are, what the real problems are. And that the governor's been passionate about defining what those real problems are and then putting state resources into this community to address those real issues.
That's fantastic. The work that you guys doing, and quite honestly, it sounds a lot, and I believe it's it's a lot for you to handle.
It's been busy.
It's been busy.
We've had a team over here. When this all started to rise to the forefront, the governor immediately dispatched a team from the state over here to work on the ground out of City Hall. So we've been over here pretty much every day. The governor's been over here multiple times a week. Again, just being on the ground, in the streets, working on these issues with the people that are most affected by it.
All right, thank you, Director. And moving with the introduction, next we have.
I'm Emily Davidson.
Hi, Emily. Can you please, tell us your role and and all of this happening right now?
Yeah, my name's Emily Davidson. I'm the director of the Ohio Traffic Safety Office. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, so thank you. Our office, at the Department of Public Safety, really focuses on traffic safety education. So we oversee and license 14 different driver training programs in the state, ranging from the new teen driver training to commercial driver's license training, an online distracted driving course, remedial training for individuals who have had citations, adult abbreviated for those that are unable to pass the skills test at the BMV. So we license and regulate all of those different training programs. And we've also taken on a role here in providing some resources on traffic safety education that can be used with non-English speaking communities throughout the state.
Amazing, amazing. So, I believe that, especially right now, it's been a lot for you to, during all this chaos happening here in Springfield. Next, we have actually one of our spokesperson from the community, and we're talking about our Jacob Payne, which is, he's here right now and today. So, Jacob, how you doing? And can you tell, the public
We're
about
doing
yourself?
good. We're doing good. As some of us may already know, I am the spokesperson for the Haitian Community Alliance. But one thing I want to take time to thank Mr. Wilson and Mrs. Davidson for coming over for this clarification they bring into the community, because we have been very thankful for the support from Governor DeWine by making sure we feel at ease in this community, and that is very important to us at HCA and in the Haitian community overall.
All right, very good, very good. So, today we wanted to meet and have this interview going. And one of the things that, we need to jump into right now, it's, the traffic situation happening. And of course, we Haitian, we've been through that. And we're doing our best as a community to help the Haitian community to know better the laws, the rules. And here at the radio too, we're actually launching a new show, this show actually, and so many other activities, especially on Sunday. So can you tell me more, Director, exactly how do you guys perceive that and what actions is being taken about that?
Sure. So as we have traveled around over the last month and a half here in Springfield, and we've worked with citizens, we've worked with the public safety folks, we've worked with local government officials. The number one issue that we hear again and again when it comes to public safety and just actually general concern with respect to the surge in the population, Haitian population that Springfield is seeing, is driving safety. And there's lots of reasons for that, but number one, it's the most visible. And what we are seeing now is every time there is a crash, every time there is a fender bender where a Haitian driver is involved, you have folks who may not be supportive, who are pulling out their phones, they're taking pictures, they're posting those pictures on the internet, and they're using that as rhetoric or fuel for the fire for folks who may be opposed to the Haitian community here. And look, it's twofold. Number one, it is a genuine public safety issue. We need our Haitian drivers on the road to be safe, to keep themselves safe when they're driving a car, to keep the people around them in the community safe when they're operating a car. And outside of the actual tangible public safety issue, we need to address the intangible of the community not seeing these crashes, the community feeling more safe when they're out on the road. So it's an issue that we are trying to address. And look, we need your help. We really need your help. We know, again, that Haiti is a country where the driver's education may not even be a thing. You don't teach people how to drive, or there's not a formal driver education system, and people may just hop in the car and learn how to drive, and the laws and the behaviors that are acceptable on the road in Haiti certainly are the same here in the United States. So a lot of folks come here and they have no understanding at all of American driving laws. Now, one of the problems that we have here in America is that if you're over the age of 18, you're not required to go through driver's training. So you can take a test, a written test, and get what's called a driver's permit. that allows you to operate a car with a licensed driver. And then you can take the skills test where you actually go to the driver's exam station. You get behind the wheel of a car with somebody who examines and makes sure that you can operate that car safely on the street. If you pass that test, then you get a license to drive. Well, just because you're able to pass that test, operate that car on American roads because they haven't had the training and they don't have that experience. So we are trying to address that, and we really need the help of the Haitian community to address that. Look, that when we talk to firefighters and police officers, the number one thing they say is we are just one car crash away. We are one car crash away from all of the good work that the Haitian leaders in this community are doing, all of the good work that the business owners who are incorporating the Haitians into their businesses, all of the good work that you all are doing to address some of these issues. One crash, one fatality, one kid gets killed, something visible happens, and all of that work's going to be undone, and we're going to step backwards into some of these issues that we've been dealing with over the last couple of weeks. So we really need to make sure, number one, that before you get behind a wheel as a Haitian driver, you understand our process. Yeah. You understand what it takes to actually get a driver's license. You understand that a driver's permit is not a driver's license. You understand the importance of actually having an Ohio driver's license, and that you do what you can to get some basic driver's education so you understand how to safely operate that car on Ohio streets.
On Ohio Street. So thank you very much, Director. And, as we move forward, I wanted to add that it's definitely something that we really are working pretty fast as of right now because it's pretty urgent. The fact that, just like you said, we're just one car crash away of, something worse to happen, and we don't want that. And we are promoting unity as of right now, even with the Alliance and all that. So we're doing our best in our end. And, this is a call to any Haitian or non-Haitian to join this movement as we are bringing awareness and promoting different campaigns to actually solve this issue and make sure that we're safe on the streets. Moving with Emily, I actually had a question about exactly, I know that, this situation, it's probably uncommon for you, due to your position. What are the challenges that you facing, especially the fact that most of the Haitians, if not a big majority of them, doesn't speak English. So how does that make your job harder? And what are the actions are actually being taken? Because I've heard some to actually make sure that the Haitian community understand the laws and actually familiarize with some of the concepts of the values of the Ohio itself.
Yeah, language is definitely the number one barrier, I would say, because really key to understanding the rules of the road is just the knowledge about what the signs mean, what the lane lines mean, what are the basic rules of the road, what do you do when you come to a four-way stop? I mean, how to interact with a bunch of different situations that we interact with on the road on a daily basis. And getting over that language barrier is really the first hurdle, because once there is that understanding, that gives Haitians, that gives whoever is still kind of learning the rules of the road the first step to understand what they're interacting with. So coming up with ways to address that has been one of our number one priorities. We've been focusing on putting the resources together, and then, as Director Wilson said, finding those community partners who can really be key in helping us get into the community, in translating materials and making sure that the translations we have are actually accurate and are portraying the right message and the right topic. and making sure that those resources are available so that, these community partners have the content, have the education that they need in order to be that resource for their people in their community.
Sure, sure. And, one of the things that, also I heard is the manual is actually was translated in Haitian Creole, or being translated in Haitian Creole. And it's definitely one of the ways to make sure that, the Haitians, until, they can start learning English, at least have, a version, a Haitian version, Creole version, just like the Spanish or the French version that existed prior to that. Is that still?
Yeah, it's my
correct?
understanding that that manual is being translated, and that will provide those resources to explain what you do in those different situations, like the four-way stop I mentioned. What do the different signs mean? I mean, yield is a pretty basic sign that means yield. You're letting the car that has the right-of-way go ahead of you, but how does that actually play out in a bunch of different scenarios? The manual has a lot of that information in it, so making it available in a resource in a language that is understandable is really key to getting that first knowledge base in order to know this information and then get in the car and start to really practice and exhibit that knowledge.
Very good, very good. I know that for sure that the trainer is one of the ways that recently, we talk about it, Director Anderson, and I know, I've been part of it, but, I let Jacob Payne here to tell us more about, his experience during this training and how he's actually collaborating or making sure that these type of training and more efforts are, being used to make sure that we prevent, the worst, just like the director said. So, Jacob, you will have plenty of time to talk, in the show. So just tell us, about the training that you went recently. So how exactly you thinking on using actually these knowledge to make sure that the streets are safe?
Definitely. On behalf of the Haitian Community Alliance, first I want to thank Director Wilson for putting this together, because as being part of it, I wouldn't never imagine it would be something very, very productive, because as you know, Miguelito, some of our community members were part of it as well. And from what I learned this morning, gives me enough tools to go out there and mentor or train someone else. Because as an experienced driver, I thought I had everything it takes to mentor someone or to be with someone, next to someone on the road. But this morning, what I've come to realize is that there are small things that make a big difference. And this morning I learned as well, if we're willing to mentor someone, we can actually change someone else's life behind the wheel, because getting behind the wheel can be very easy, but it can be very complicated at the same time if you don't have the proper training. This is one of the main things that I've learned this morning in that training.
Sure. Thank you very much, Jacob. So, Director, just going back to you, what exactly are the results or the outcome, the expected outcomes of all these efforts that the governor's office, the public safety department, and here in town? What exactly are you expected as a type of outcomes in short terms, probably long term?
So generally, obviously, the goal is to make people safer on the roads, our Haitian drivers and the community as a whole. Mm-hmm. Specifically, we need to look at a couple different measures. So I'll give you an example. Right now, we know that the passage rate for the written permit test at the BMV, where you go to take it, is somewhere between 13 and 17% for our Haitian residents. And so, that's a very low passage rate. So that tells me that coming into that test, those folks who are, those individuals who are taking that test have very little knowledge of our driving laws and our driving rules. That 13 to 17% also includes folks who have taken the test multiple times. So we know in that numbers people who have failed the test and are coming back to take it. So we would like to see out the gate, we would like to see that number raise significantly. I think for non-Haitian individuals taking the test, the passage rate's about 60%, 68%, somewhere in that range. So we would like to see the Haitian community bring their passage rate up around that. That's the way that's going to happen is by, first of all, making sure that the training materials are in Creole, a language that people can actually study, and then making sure that we have the infrastructure in place to teach people what they need to know to understand those laws. So we know without a doubt that that's better. The second thing, we know what makes people safer, actual safer drivers on the street is time behind the steering wheel, training and practicing with somebody who is a safe driver who knows to teach them. And unfortunately, I think too often, because our Haitian residents are looking to, they just want to get that test, they'll get in a car with anybody to try to learn, and it doesn't mean that they're getting good instruction. They're just getting behind the wheel, trying to learn what they need to learn just to pass the test. What we really need is we need good drivers who have experience on Ohio's roads, who are willing to take time with Haitian residents who are wanting to drive and go out on, and you got to start, again, you start with the classroom, but then you go to a parking lot, a closed area where there's no other cars, and you teach basic skills. And eventually, we take folks out on the road where we teach, coach, and mentor them how to be a safe driver. I mean, that's ultimately what we'd like to see in the short term. So we're rushing through Emily's good work. We're rushing into Springfield resources that will allow for that to happen. You also have, there's a driving school here in Springfield that has started an adult Haitian Creole driving class. So we would love to see folks get into that class. I think it's $150 per session. And that would, again, we'd love to see folks go in and take that course. And don't quote me on the 150. That may just be one portion of that class. But again, anything that our Haitian residents can do to make themselves safer behind the wheel, to give them a better understanding of how our laws and how our rules work, to keep themselves and other drivers safe is what we're trying to push in the community.
That's amazing, you know, and I believe that very soon. So we also, on the other hand, know, especially right now, we're living pretty much an aftermath after, you know, all these false allegations about the Haitian community. And of course, the Haitian community is right now, I mean, being through all these felt fear, or have all these fears and scared to go out and, you know, even to drive. You know, one of the things that we believe, especially for the safety and talking about the traffic too, we believe that, you know, that fear actually was added to some of the people going behind the wheel while driving and feel that they are not welcome on the streets, or they are not welcome in the country or even in Ohio. And that's uncomfort probably added to the more scary, you know, feelings they were having as an immigrant itself, and coming to this country and trying to navigate to, you know, through all of this culture and stuff like that. So, you know, I know your department been working a lot, you know, about some of these you know, different tools, and, you know, the government itself say all these allegations are false. And today, what do you believe that the Haitian community should, you know, do? And what is the message that you would share to them to, you know, reduce this tension and try to, you know, kind of invite them to know what is true and all that?
So again, you can only control what you can control. And to our Haitian residents out there, I would just say, look, just be smart in your actions. Don't do anything that is going to that's going to give anybody a reason to say something bad, to escalate. And when I say that, if you get behind the wheel and you don't know how to drive, or you get behind the wheel and you don't have a license and you cause an accident, you're only giving more fuel to that fire. So you have to make sure that when you go to do something, you know, number one, you're following the law. And number two, you have a basic understanding, or you should have a basic understanding, or try to have a basic understanding of how things work. Again, the worst thing that you can do right now is not have a license or drive in some kind of reckless manner and cause a crash that's going to bring more attention to this community. So just be aware of your actions.
Sure. Well, just be aware, and that's one of the things that we've been saying too, Jacob. So, Emily, just can you quickly tell the people listening right now? I mean, we'll be sharing that later, but can you go or tell us exactly where do you believe the challenges are? With the Haitians, especially, with the BMV, what are the things that they're saying and how we in our community could make them feel better or tell them exactly how to fix some of these issues or what to be expected, at least when they go to BMV? What are the challenges that they facing when they go there and BMV, the Haitians itself?
Yeah.
I mean, the director, you can add to that too later if you want. Mm-hmm.
I can't really speak for the BMV, but I don't know, Director Wilson, if you've got a better feel for what they're seeing.
So Emily has traffic safety. We can bring in Charlie Norman, who's the registrar for the BMV for future episodes or future broadcasts.
Sure.
But I will tell you this, anything that you can do before going to the BMV to have a better understanding of what you need. So there are some lines, there are some things you may be able to do online. There are some forms that you may be able to fill out in advance. So anything that you can do to better understand what you need at the BMV before you go in there. Another thing too, it's something simple, is I know culturally, a lot of times you bring your family with you when you go somewhere. When you're going into these offices, if you could just come by yourself or a small number of people, because one of the problems that we're seeing, or one of the things that's causing frustration, is when folks go in the BMV and it looks like it's full of people, and they get frustrated because there's going to be a wait, and there may be a wait because of the language barriers. Like, those are little things that cause frustration points that then people go back and get on social media, Facebook, and it just causes more tension and more rhetoric. So if you can just be aware of little things like that, we need to get in and out of these offices as quickly as possible in conducting whatever business you need to do. So whatever you can do to have the correct paperwork ready, or whatever you can do to make that more efficient for everybody who's going to be in that office is something that I think will help.
Thank you very much, Director. And, just Emily, of course, part of BMV, but from the public safety, itself, I know that today, and, all right, great. Thank you, Director. That we've been able to cancel some of the community events that we had, prior here in Springfield. So what are the security measures that your office is taking right now that's you too? Wow,
Yeah, I'll have to defer to the director on that.
The director's there.
I can sit down and I can give you all kinds.
All right, so, director's leaving, and Emily, since, what are your final thoughts or something that you would like to add to the audience today before, you actually join the director?
Yeah, the traffic safety element is really, the area that I can weigh in a little bit. I
Got
think
it.
one thing to keep in mind is there's a lot of different components that go into this, not just the knowledge, but also the mental piece. Anxiety around driving is an issue that a lot of Americans face too. So getting a better understanding of the rules of the road and the requirements, I think will help for, the Haitian population as well to kind of get over that, any concerns from like an anxiety standpoint, so that they get more comfortable. I think from what I've heard, at least on the skills test, there can be a lot of anxiety around being observed, having somebody else sitting in the car, especially when you're not sure if you understand the language. All of those things, the more practice, the more experience that you can get in controlled, safe environments will really be key to performing well and getting just that comfortability, I guess, in the vehicle, where you kind of start to have it becomes second nature, right? Where you start to not have to think quite as much about, how do I react in this situation, because you've experienced it over and over again, and it's becoming more muscle memory.
It's glad that it's saying that, because one of the questions that I actually had is, today we know that so many times we talk about solutions that goes towards the adults, right? Would you agree, Jacob?
Yes, absolutely.
And one of the things that we usually forget is the kids.
Yep.
So can you go over these training program for either kids or adults, and how they do differentiate? Because there's a confusion on whether you should take a training, go to school or not go to school, where exactly that matters and how exactly that work.
Yeah, here in Ohio, the law requires if you are under the age of 18 and getting your license for the first time at 16 or 17, you have to go through a driver education course. For teenage drivers here in Ohio, that consists of a 24-hour classroom curriculum, and that can be done in a classroom or online, and 8 hours of behind the wheel with a licensed instructor who has been specially trained to provide and guide 8 hours of practice behind the wheel, focusing on a lot of very specific types of skills and experiences in the car. So that is what's required of those that are under 18. As Director Wilson said, over 18, there is no requirement for driver's education. So if you're going to take your skills test for the first time, you do not have to have driver's education if you are 18 or over. If you fail the skills test, though, you do have to complete an adult abbreviated course, which is a 4-hour course that can be done either in person or online, plus either a 4 hours in car with a licensed instructor, or completing some practice hours with a experienced driver in the vehicle in addition to that classroom.
Very good. So basically, if you're a minor, right? If you're like under 18, we should definitely go through a training program.
Yeah, you have to if you want to get your license under the age of 18. And I will say that those training programs are available even to adults if they want to enroll. Driver training schools often will accept those individuals if they're over 18. Now, they might try to balance it with their students that are under 18, because the law does require those students to go through the training. So sometimes they want to prioritize that since it's not a requirement over 18. But that is something that driver training schools are welcome to provide to adults as well. And sometimes adults do take them up on that.
That's good. That's good. Jacob, you're here and you're listening to all that, and now you are a trainer ready to go, train more trainer or eventually more Haitian driver. So what are your take on all that?
Well, besides, Miss Davidson, who has just blessed us with a lot of information that going to be useful for us. But I also think we should continue to run our campaign throughout the community to educate these people and to help them. If one of us can help another one, it will make a big difference in the long run. Each trained driver who can train another driver, it will make a huge difference in the long run. And we will, on behalf of Haitian Community Alliance, we thank Ms. Davidson for her knowledge about how she sees things and how she views our community as a whole.
Yeah, and I do think it's important to note that, so the training that we're providing, this Train the Trainer, that you guys are going to turn around and provide to the community, that's really the first step in the process, right? So this is really introductory topics about what do the street signs mean? What do the yellow lines on the road mean versus the white lines on the road? Because they mean totally different things, and you have to know how to interact with both of those types of lines and interact with them correctly in order to be a successful and safe driver. So going through this Train the Trainer program is really kind of the first step in the process. It doesn't replace driver's education. It doesn't replace if you fail the skills test on the first time attempt over the age of 18. It doesn't replace doing the adult abbreviated course that's required by law. This is not a program that is licensed by our office, so really we're just making the resources available to people like Jacob and anybody that you work with to turn around and provide this this really basic information to the community, but we still obviously think there's a role for driver's education and encourage anybody that has the resources and the time to take those steps as well to get additional education.
All right, very good, very good. So, Jacob, is there anything, final thoughts, or you want to address to the Haitian community listening to us today?
I think our community needs to remain focused and follow our instructions because it's important. We sitting with these city officials and they giving us the tool to help our community, but we as a community, we need to follow each other's instruction so we can spread the word out as much as we can so we can get to our final destination. Our final destination is simple. It's to have a better and safer Springfield. Mm-hmm. We've contributed in a lot of wrecks that has been happening in Springfield. We have to find a way together.
We need to bring the solution.
Bring solution
Yep.
to fix that up. That's my thought.
Hey, Emily, it's been a pleasure, to have you guys here, and Director Andy, and it's probably a first of many other appearances that we are thinking on having, especially, during this show, Ohio Traffic Show. And again, I want to say that this show will be translated and be available online to everyone that speak Haitian Creole. We'll have that translated and have it subtitled too. And if you have any question, you can just leave it on the comment or go to our WhatsApp group to actually drop your comment and reach out to us or reach out to HCA, the Haitian Community Alliance, to drop your